From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Kylie Conway, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 for Tuesday, November 15th. It's going to be an active weather day today. Some rain and snow mix moves in. If you live north or drive north of I-70, that's where you're going to see more snow by late morning, while those who are south of I-70 will see more general rain, mixed precipitation. But fortunately, we're above freezing, so it shouldn't create too much havoc out there on the roadways. Just keep in mind that they are going to be a little wet. And today, we do expect to find out the future plans for Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett. Hogsett hasn't committed to running again, but told our All Indiana Politics team that he'll reveal his decision soon. The Mayor Joe for Indy Twitter is touting a special announcement today featuring dozens of the most prominent Democrats in state and local politics. It's happening at 5 this evening at the City Market, downtown Indy. From my teammate, a judge has appointed 2 attorneys to represent the Delphi man accused in the murder of Abby Williams and Libby German. This comes as investigators reveal they've known for years Richard Allen was on the Monon High Bridge the day the girls were killed. iTeammate's Richard Essex breaks it down.
Our sources tell us that Richard Allen had gone to a state conservation officer shortly after the murders. He told the officer that he'd been in the area that day, had even been out on the bridge, but he told the officer that he didn't see anything. Sources tell iTeammate Allen didn't get much attention when he first went to police because investigators may not have believed his story. After 5 years and countless interviews, investigators had become frustrated with the path of the investigation in order to review of tips and case files, and that is when Allen became a suspect. Podcasters Anya Kane and Kevin Greenlee told me that they have independently verified similar information on Allen.
We've also heard that they may have looked at him like he didn't go to them, that he, that people said, oh, I saw Allen there, and then they talked to him. But either way, it seemed to be a very cooperative, low-key initial contact. It was not contact that was, combative, and our understanding is that he was, cooperative in the beginning and just sort of like, oh yeah, I was there. Like, let me tell you about my experience there, and nothing to necessarily raise red flags.
Investigators questioned Allen about the murders of Abby and Libby on October 26th and arrested him 2 days later. Our sources say investigators believe Allen is the man on the cell phone video and sketches released by police. The question remains, why did Allen go to police shortly after the murders?
There's a couple of reasons why a possible perpetrator may come forward to police, because people think, why would you do that? That's a huge risk. And that's true, but there are a number of possible benefits. You have the ability of the perpetrator to then sort of seemingly kind of look helpful, cooperative, friendly, so that if, somebody reports seeing them later, they can kind of get ahead of that. They can learn more about what police are doing or what they know or what they're suspecting. And they can also, if there's some sort of a thrill factor involved in the killing, they can certainly get some sort of affirmation from feeling like they're above suspicion and that they're essentially toying with investigators.
The probable cause that led to Allen's arrest has been sealed by the court. There is a hearing next Tuesday on the 22nd to determine whether that document will be released to the public. In Indianapolis, Richard Essex, Wish TV, iTeammate.
And iTeammate sources also confirm a recent 5-week search of the Wabash River is connected to the Delphi investigation. They say Kagan Klein told investigators they would find a cell phone and a weapon. Klein is a figure linked to the Delphi case, but he's never been charged. iTeammate sources say state police never found the evidence and that Klein is known for lying to investigators. Police say Klein communicated with Libby German using the profile Anthony Schatz. He faces 25 child porn-related charges tied to that social media account. His trial is set to begin in January. In Kosciuszko County, a semi-driver is now formally charged in a bus crash that injured 16 people. Warsaw police posted the 26 charges against Victor Santos on social media last night. He's charged with 4 counts of causing serious bodily injury while operating a vehicle and 22 counts of criminal recklessness while armed with a deadly weapon. Police say the counts match the 26 people on board the bus at the time. It was full of hockey players from St. Ignatius College Prep in Chicago when Santos slammed into it Saturday night. iTeammate learned 2 teenage victims are still in a Fort Wayne hospital. We don't know anything about their conditions other than they're listed as stable. Police say Santos's bond is set at $75,000. To business headlines, the Labor Department is trying to figure out why so many older Gen Z workers aren't in the workforce. Fewer people aged 20 to 24 are working or seeking a job. In that age group, participation that averaged 70% in the latest jobs report, lower than pre-pandemic. It's not school because education enrollment is also lower in that age group. Target is debuting larger stores that have more of a focus on curbside pickup. Target's new, larger format stores optimize additional space and new design elements, and at nearly 150,000 square feet, the locations are more than 20,000 square feet larger than the chain average. While the retailer will continue to open stores of all sizes, it will focus on this larger footprint in the next few years. The new store format will focus on the popular same-day fulfillment services and deliver on its stores as hubs strategy for digital fulfillment. Google reaches $391.5 million in a settlement with states over location tracking practices. Consumers who disabled their location history settings were still tracked by Google. That's according to state attorneys general. A similar suit was being filed in Indiana State Court as well. All right, consumer price index is out. Prices at wholesale level rose 8% in October from 12 months earlier, the fourth straight decline, and the latest sign that inflation pressures in the United States are easing from painfully high levels. And Walmart is set to pay $3.1 billion to state, local, and tribal governments over the toll of opioids it dispensed. This is breaking news this morning that we did bring you on Daybreak, but again, $3.1 billion to state, local, and tribal governments. Garth Brooks formally announced his residency at the Coliseum at Caesars Palace. Garth Brooks Plus One will open next year starting May 18th and continue for 27 dates through June, July, November, and December of 2023. In other news today, former President Donald Trump is poised to reveal his next political move. He's touting a special announcement. It's widely reported that he'll reveal plans to run for the White House again. Trump is not confirming that yet, saying in a post on his social media network that it could be one of the most important days in the history of our country. Tonight's announcement is set for 9 o'clock. Also happening today, Mike Pence's new memoir hits stores. It's called So Help Me God. The book covers his personal and political life, including his time as governor of Indiana and later vice president. It also details Pence's conversations with Trump in the days before and after the attack on the U.S. Capitol. In an interview with ABC to promote the book, Pence hinted at his own potential 2024 presidential run, saying he thinks we'll have better choices in the future than Trump. President Biden says he had an open and candid conversation with Chinese President Xi Jinping. As we've reported on Daybreak here on the podcast, the two world leaders met face-to-face in Indonesia yesterday for the first time since Biden took office. Biden says he objected directly to China's provocations against Taiwan and does not expect any imminent attempt of China invading. He says the two powers' goal is to manage their differences. The two leaders also agreed to have Secretary of State Antony Blinken travel to Beijing to continue these conversations. A new study shows COVID-19 boosters could keep thousands of children out of the hospital. The Commonwealth Fund and the Yale School of Public Health published the analysis yesterday. According to the data, if 50 to 60% of school-aged children were vaccinated with the updated COVID booster, at least 38,000 pediatric hospitalizations could be averted from now through March. The study shows more than 50,000 hospitalizations could be avoided if booster coverage reached 80%. According to the CDC, less than 5% of school-aged children have their updated boosters right now. Another railroad workers union has rejected a labor deal, ratcheting up the chances of a strike. Members of the International Brotherhood of Boilermakers voted down the agreement the rail lines hammered out with union leaders 2 months ago. The union is smaller than many other rail workers unions, but all 13 have pledged to honor picket lines if any go on strike. Sticking points in negotiations include staffing levels and paid sick time. Gleaner's Food Bank says overwhelming demand is leading them to revert back to drive-through distribution. Starting today, families will drive up to get food instead of walking in and selecting it. Officials say demand is up 50% from the start of the year. They say it's contributing to wait times of more than 2.5 hours and creating a frustrating and dangerous parking situation. They hope reverting back to the drive-through will keep people out of the cold and help speed up wait times. Officials say they are focused on creating a way for people to be able to choose the food they want while also using the drive-through in the coming weeks. Tipton County hosts a free vaccination clinic today. It'll offer COVID testing and COVID and flu vaccines. It's at the Tipton County Courthouse from 9:30 to 4. Walk-ins are welcome, but organizers say you can save time if you make an appointment online. And finally, a plan to redevelop a vacant site in downtown Indianapolis is moving forward with a financing plan. Jail 2 has been vacant for the last year. The new plan calls for loft-style apartments, stores, a concert venue, and more. The Metropolitan and Economic Development Committee supports a $15.5 million TIF bond to help with renovations. That kind of funding relies on taxes generated by the project to pay the money back. We talked to the developer. The developers say that they do hope to have the project online by 2025. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway. Online at wishtv.com and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.